What's going on, everyone? So today we're back with more Tekken 8 ranked statistics. This is where we see the most popular ranks, what's shifting with like the average ranks, we look at the most popular characters, we look at each character's win rate, all that fun stuff. As normal, we're gonna be looking at the three big infographics with like the most popular information, and then we're gonna be going a little bit more in depth, looking at kind of like some win rates, and basically like seeing what we can gather from this data. Because I feel like there's a lot you can learn from data like this, and it's really cool that people have made it accessible. So as always, the data is from Not Quite Factual, and the infographics here are made by Elliot Fay. They'll both be linked in the description. So let's get started and take a look at these stats. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's a really big help, and it shows me to make more content like this. So let's get started. Starting with the rank distribution, we can see here, as I think I predicted this like in the summer, I thought like, yeah, Fujin is definitely going to become the most populated rank. That was the way the data was shifting, and as we can see here, it has happened. So for most of the game's life, Garyu was the most populated. It started going down, then it started leading kind of towards Mighty Ruler. Now Fujin. Fujin is the most popular rank. Now, that doesn't mean it's the average rank. As we can see here, if we look at the data overall, there's way more people on this side than on this side. So you're still gonna be above the average player. And we'll go into that later when we go into the further data of like what percentile you are if you are in Fujin. So it's still like you're still above average, but it is the most populated rank. And I believe Fujin's gonna keep going up throughout the lifetime of this game. So if we go a little bit more into the graph, nothing's changed here in the orange ranks, obviously. All the red ranks are going down, which is to be expected. People just aren't happy staying at Garyu anymore. They want more, which makes sense, right? Of course you want like the new shiny rank. What is kind of surprising to me here is that Mighty Ruler is actually going down. This is unusual to see. Usually the first rank of a new color, especially purple, a lot of people are like, okay, I got my goal, I'm happy with this, right? That seems to be a pretty common thing, but not here. It seems people are like, no, I don't want Mighty Ruler. I want to go for the big Fujin. Fujin seems to be like a huge goal for the general tech community. Everyone wants to get to this rank. And judging by the data, they're doing a great job, right? Flame Ruler's going up, obviously, as people keep climbing. Battle Ruler's going up. Fujin's gone up a lot. And basically all of the ranks here have gone up, besides God of Destruction. Destruction right now is like insanely hard to maintain. I'm seeing people drop out of there. Even like really strong players are dropping out of there constantly. So we're seeing here, Raijin is going up to 6.23%, 5.32 for Kishin, and 4.52 for Bussen. Interesting, right? Tekken King has also gone up by quite a lot. 0.73 is like a very big increase for a rank like this. So yeah, a lot of people are getting Tekken King as well, which is really cool to see because Tekken King is an impressive rank, dude. Tekken King is a very impressive rank. We see a big drop from Tekken King to Emperor. Which makes sense. I talked about it a little bit before. I feel like the skill gap between Tekken King and Emperor is huge, especially like once you start getting to like the second half of Emperor, it drops off a lot, in my opinion. It's a really big drop. Tekken God is 1.35% and Supreme is 0.74. So like basically where we're at now is like Fujin is still a very good rank, and you should be like even though like it's the most populated rank, again, you're still quite a bit above the average player. So this is a very impressive rank to have. And then once anything past Fujin is like, you're doing very well for yourself, in my opinion. So like any Raijin plus, like you should be proud of that. That's all really good. And even the purple ranks, like you're still doing good. Like Tekken Online is so difficult right now. It's so difficult, it's so toxic, it's so cheesy. So yeah, I think the rank distribution, this is interesting. I'm curious as to where it's gonna go in the future. I imagine these ones will keep going up. It'll be interesting if the player base as a whole decides like, okay, Fujin is where we're gonna stop, this will remain the most populated, or will it keep going down? Maybe we'll get to the point where eventually Raijin is the most popular rank, or maybe Tekken King one day. I feel like Tekken King's a big stretch, especially because blue ranks have the most, there's 4. This is the only rank in the game where there's 4 of them. So it has like a huge collection of players. So I don't know if we'd ever see Tekken King as like the most populated rank, but definitely one of the other blue ranks is very possible as people keep progressing. Okay, so that's the rank distribution. Here we have the percentiles, which I touched on a little bit earlier. So as you can see here, again, even though Fujin is the most populated rank, you are still in the 33rd percentile. That's pretty good, right? You're better than 2/3 of all Tekken players. Like, definitely something to be proud of. So, I mean, we can see here that the 50% is around here. So around Tenryu and Mighty Ruler, this is like the exact average right here, which is, again, pretty interesting. It's really cool to see how we've progressed from this point being like the definitive average. Now we've gone up. I'm guessing that's because as the game's progressed, a lot of casual players have dipped out. The player base in Tekken 8, in my opinion, is getting way stronger than Tekken 7 was, in my opinion. So yeah, we're seeing here, if you're in Garyu, 68%, 56 percentile for Tenryu, Mighty Ruler. Between here is like the exact middle. Anything past Mighty Ruler and you're above the average Tekken player, this makes you 45, 39, 33. Pretty big drop from Fujin to Raijin, 24%, 18 for Kishin, 12. Tekken King, this is surprisingly, I thought this would be a bigger dip. Bushin to Tekken King is only about 4% drop, so interesting there. A lot of people are getting Tekken King now. Emperor is a really big drop. It goes down by 50%, goes down by another 50% for Tekken God, and so on. So nothing too surprising there. Going to ranked character popularity. This one is always interesting. Jin is still maintaining as the most popular character. Jin has kind of fought with King, he's fought with Reina, and he's fought with Dragunov. But we've seen everything's shifted now because of so many nerfs. Jin is the character who largely has remained untouched, so it makes sense why he's so high. People just love this guy. He's the main character, he's accessible for the first time. It makes perfect sense why Jin is the way he is in this game. King is number 2. King has always been very high in this game. I think he was like 3rd last time, so not super surprising. Although I do believe King's win rate is pretty low. I believe the win rate of all of these characters, all of the top characters, are very low. Obviously because they have the biggest player base, right? Kazuya being number 3 is always cool to see. Horing is 5. I believe he's gone up. I think he was a little bit lower last time actually. And look at Heihachi. Okay, so this is the first stats we're getting with Heihachi. There you go. He's the 5th most popular character in the game. People love Heihachi, dude. People love him, and they did such a great job with him in this game. I can't commend Namco enough for what they did with him. He's so cool. Very well balanced, very fun to play. Like, I see people left and right being like, this is the most fun I've ever had with Tekken playing this character. And I feel pretty similarly. Brian's very high, not a surprise. Reina's still high, although she has dropped significantly. I think Reina was a victim of like huge hype for the new character, plus she was a huge casual. I know so many casual Tekken players who picked up Reina. They got Tekken 8 because of Reina. They thought she looked really cool. So I guess as some of the more casuals faded away, she went down a little bit. Still very high though. Steve, Law, Dragunov has seen such an insane drop. This guy was number 1 at one point. That tells you, now what's changed? He's been nerfed. He's still very, very strong, but I guess as people nerfed him, more and more people opted for Jin if you want to play like a super strong, solid top tier. So Dragunov has fallen off a lot. Lily is always very high. I made a video on her recently. Yoshimitsu. Paul is actually, this is a big surprise. Paul has gone up. I believe Paul was like around here before, so Paul has been increasing. I wonder why that is. Maybe because of some of the buffs? Pretty interesting. Yeah, seeing Paul above Victor is crazy, because Victor's always been a very, very highly regarded character in this game. We have Victor at 2.85%, June, Asuka, Lars. I believe Lars has also gone up as well. We're seeing both other DLC characters have fallen, which again makes sense. I believe the last one, Eddie and Lydia, were like way up here. Just because when like a new DLC character releases, everyone's buying them, everyone's like trying them out. Makes sense why they'd be a little bit more popular, but they have kind of dropped. Which again, Eddie and Lydia are not like they've never been very, very popular picks, so makes sense to me. Lee, Azucena, Devil Jin's just seen a ridiculous fall off. Free my boy. Oh my god. Feng Wei's also seen a pretty big fall off. I remember him being quite a bit higher. Jack, Claudio, Leo, Leroy. None of this is very surprising. This is all the pretty bog standard stuff. So that's like the basic info that we can go through. Looking on the Reddit, this is like the actual official data that Not Quite Factual has posted. This is interesting because we can look at other stuff. So most popular characters all is the same infographic we obviously just looked at. Most popular characters master. So this is just Tekken God and above. So looking at this, we can see it doesn't change too much. Brian overtakes King by 1 spot, but besides that, it's pretty consistent. How high was Lee on the other one? Okay, Lee goes up a lot. Lee was like halfway through, but in high ranks, he is what? 4, 5, 6, 7. He's the 7th most popular character in Tekken God and above. That's surprising. Steve goes up, Yoshimitsu goes up a lot. Lars is surprisingly high, and Kazuya is surprisingly low. Wow. Lily, Feng Wei obviously goes up. Oh, basically a lot of like the top tiers go up, you can see, and then the bottom is around the same. I think that's all I have to say for that one. Looking at win rates here, this is always very interesting. This is just Destroyer to Fujin, so this is the intermediate level and this is advanced. If we just look at Destroyer to Fujin, so this is like the majority of the player base, because remember the graph after Fujin, like to the left, that's where the majority of the player base is, right? So for the majority of player base, Panda, Kuma, and Zafina have the highest win rates. Makes sense. Claudio is always ridiculously high. It always surprises me how high Claudio is. Like, to me, he feels super honest, but he performs so consistently well in ranked. Probably a big factor of all these characters is just because how little they're played, right? The bigger a player base you have, the lower your win rate's going to be, generally speaking. So if we compare this to this, so this is Raijin to Emperor, so Blue Ranks to Emperor, more of an advanced tier here. About the same. Obviously, all the low tier gimmicky characters are always very high. Panda's always having the highest win rate, which is very funny to me. I'm trying to see if there's anything notable here. Doesn't look like it. Looks pretty standard. I'm guessing you're gonna see like the standard top tier win rates go up as the tiers go. So yeah, we can see like Jin is pretty low in most ranks, in like the lower ranks. As you get to the higher ranks, he's gone up a little bit here. And no, he stays pretty low, surprisingly, in the highest ranks. Jin having this low of a win rate in the top ranks, which is, this is Emperor, is actually very, very surprising. I guess Jin's not doing that well in high ranks. We see Feng Wei has the highest win rate in the game, beating Kuma. That is very surprising. Oh my god. And so in the top ranks, Feng Wei is dominating. Shaheen is also dominating. Nina. Most of these make sense. So those are the main stats here. These are the win rates. I'll link everything in the description if you want to go check out more. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick little cover. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's a really, really big help, and I appreciate all of you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.